I think we're live.
We're
We're live,
late.
everyone. Yes, we are live. What is up,
Late
people of the
American.
internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful November 4th, 2024. It is here, everyone. The final day before election night, and that means one final presidential prediction. This is it. This is the final presidential prediction of the cycle. Wow. How many of these have we done this year? Like 12, 13?
Yeah, I think you did one for every month, so.
Yeah, so it is here, everyone, the final presidential map prediction. Of course, you can hear we are here with Mr. John Rose, Mr. James, Real Texan, and Small Village Polling. The usual suspects.
It is the
Well,
smallest village now. We
True.
evolved.
Yeah, you're not. Listen, hey, you beat Ann Seltzer. I mean, how is it even possible?
We did, yeah. We had Trump plus 2 Iowa.
How do you even? Unbelievable. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and if you have questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chat's best way to get your questions answered. Already, we got a bunch of super chats to read through. Timothy Finch for 5. I'm literally losing sleep over this election. Wake up at 2 a.m. unable to go back to bed from anxiety. I despise Kamala Harris so much. Go vote. Yeah, this is it. This is the election. We've been talking about this for years now, and well, it's finally here. Be done for 2. If we lose, this is the last election. Well, I won't go that far. K Cup for 5. Voting tomorrow in Wisconsin to take my other brother to vote also. Plus, set up a coffee date with a nice Catholic woman. Let's go MAGA 2024, everyone. Lord Rhino for 5. Stop doing the Republicans do fine better than fine. You won't become the mess my country has. It'll be saved one day. Yeah, Lord Rhino's in the UK. Princess Rider for 5. My last update, lads. North Carolina's looking like Trump plus 4 to 6 in our early vote data and what we're modeling for election day. Let's make America great, everyone. Trump 47. Charleston for 2. Ghost Dog for 5. All but 2 family members have voted yet. Those 2 will vote tomorrow. 5 members, 2 females, 3 boys vote Trump. God bless USA and God bless Virginia. W's the chat for Ghost Dog. Tyler T for 5. Who has lost more credibility in the past 48 hours? Seltzer, Ralston, or Rep? No comment on the Rep situation. Not gonna get into that. Nope. Not talking about it. Riley Moore for 5. I pray Trump wins my home state of Pennsylvania. This will be my 3rd time voting for Trump from Pennsylvania. I'm excited and nervous. Mitchell for 2. Red, Minnesota. I wouldn't go that far.
By the way, to answer the question, it's Seltzer.
No, the biggest winner of this cycle, though, has been Small Village by far,
Real.
because we are going to be more accurate than a gold standard poll.
I can't
Take
get
that
over
tonight.
that. American Nerd for 5. Rap. What should we do if that B word wins tomorrow? I'm not trying to doom. I just want to be prepared. Honestly, I might. No, don't talk like that. Don't think like that.
We're gonna have the most insane Republican civil war, figuratively, obviously not literally. It's gonna be fun. It'll be an interesting conflict that happens in the party, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff happening.
Lone Wolf for 5. I'm voting tomorrow with my stepmom. I cannot wait for this to be over and we can live in stress-free. Go vote and go Trump 2024. Timothy Finch for 5. Mayors twist their numbers hard to ensure Trump didn't go into the election day winning the RCP average. Yeah, the last millisecond, these bozos dropped the Harris plus 4 to stop the average from being Trump plus. Unbelievable. But all right, everyone.
Hopefully Atlas can save the averages later.
Yeah,
we'll
come on, Atlas, just one more. We need one more poll from you guys. Dark Helm for 5. I'll be bringing my father to vote tomorrow in Ohio. We'll be voting for Trump and Moreno. No on issue 1. Okay, Ghost Dog for 10. Main issue 4 for me is now immigration. Got into a car crash a few weeks ago. Had no license, no English, and car wasn't his. Financially set us back 2 years since car is totaled now. That sucks. That's awful. A glitch EV for 2. Everyone better vote if they haven't. Yep. If you haven't voted yet, get out and vote tomorrow. But all right, is it time for the final prediction? Everyone.
Yeah, just a quick thing. Technically, the election starts tonight. We'll have results in the morning from Dixville Notch.
We all know how those clowns gonna vote.
Dixville Notch.
Trump gets a vote out of Dixville Notch. It is going to be 1984 2.0.
Yeah, if
if
he wins
Trump
those
gets a vote.
even two of
How many
them.
votes are in Dixville notch this time?
Six.
Is it
No.
five?
It's like
I
10.
heard
It's like 10 of them.
from Boston Nationalists that apparently more people have moved to that town and there'll be more votes this time. So
We'll see, I guess.
we could see potentially Trump voters. So
I'm
Jake-
gonna right now. I'm still gonna say probably a Harris wins all of them, and then the
Probably.
governors probably more split.
Jacob S for 5. When will numbers start rolling in tomorrow? I've been waiting for 4 years on this. But the next 24 hours will feel like another 4. I think Kentucky and Indiana at 6 p.m. Eastern. Look at the results.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think they close first.
part
at like
of their
6 p.m.
states. Part of their states.
Z
Yeah, the
Cowboy
East
also, we're on
Coyotes.
New York Times this
Okay,
year.
okay, final super chat before we end the prediction. The Cowboy for 5. I've heard from the grapevine that Trump is winning in my home state of New Jersey. If so,
Not
hashtag Trump 2024. Right when I said that, Alexander Hill for 5. Had my family both Nevada and Arizona vote last weekend. 13 members, all for Trump. LDS,
God damn, we're
Romans for
getting
Trump.
another wave. We're getting another
Oh
wave.
my gosh! Thanks for the
All
support,
right,
everyone.
save them to the end. Save them to the end.
All right,
We'll
we gotta
save
get
them
through
till the
some
end.
states. All right, I'll read through these super chats after we go through a couple states. All right. So for the final time, these are the for sure, no matter what you do, safe states. And when we say safe, that means over 90% Democrat, or I should say, probability wise. So California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado. Again, these are quite without a doubt. These states are gonna be safe no matter what. The Northeast, Maine first, of course, and of course Hawaii. And Republicans, Alaska, Utah, the Great Plains states, we all get the point. There you go. Bada bing, bada boo. We'll save Iowa, I guess. Freaking unbelievable. Tennessee, the Deep South, and I guess Florida and Texas.
Actually, no, we're not saving. We're not saving Iowa. I'm not
Yeah,
giving
screw it.
not
It's
giving
safe.
these
I don't
people.
care what
Save Bari,
Seltzer
you guys
says.
are-
I
you
don't
guys are-
freaking care. That's
If you guys
unbelievable.
believe that poll, you guys are delusional as shit.
All right.
Trust small village. We have Trump up in Iowa.
Yeah. Jay Wilder for 2. You should play Kamala Tail on stream. Ghost Dog for 5. Continue from last dono. Because of that, I'm not sure that regardless who wins the economy won't matter. We were a month away from paying it off. That sucks. Yeah. F's the chat for Ghost Dog. That sucks. Cherokee Bear for 2. There's be one more Atlas Intel poll. They better cook something with that one. Ghost Dog for 2. What do you mean Trump will win DC? He won't win DC. Napoleon the Great for 5. Got my entire family of independents to vote Trump. All voted early, plus 7 votes for Trump in New Jersey. W's a chat for Napoleon the Great. Jackson Bass for 2. Atlas polling Virginia, New Hampshire, Minnesota, New Mexico. Yes, they are. So
I'm making a North Carolina county map prediction for the governor race right now. This is painful. Like the amount of Democrat counties that shouldn't be Democrats.
yeah. True evil for
Guys,
5.
Kyle Kalinske just released his election prediction.
Who did?
355 for Kamala Harris.
Are you serious?
Kyle Kalinske, what the?
Are you serious? Oh gosh, true evil for 5. What people don't seem to understand is that even with the back in 2020, Trump was still underestimated by 4 points. Exactly. He was underestimated by a lot. But all right, enough of that. Let's get into it. So how should we start with today? Because there's other states we got to talk about for whatever reason, I guess, because they might be closer than expected. Where should we start with? Maine, I guess?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's start with Maine. Why not? So,
Safe.
okay, how do you guys think about Maine? So you think safe?
Likely.
Yeah, I'll go likely.
It's a tricky one for me because on one hand, New Hampshire's right next to it, and there's big trends there, which we're not including that Harris plus 30 poll. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I saw that. But I think it was also Craig plus 18.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, in New Hampshire, there was a Harris plus 30 poll that out of nowhere, they dropped it. So, yeah, not fun. But what do you guys think? Safe, likely, what?
Likely.
Likely?
Likely.
All right, we'll say likely. All right. Mr. Nugget for 2. Did you hear about the Virginia turnout poll? Yep, I heard about it. Harris plus 2. Tyler T for 2. Trump could win national popular vote by 20, still lose DC. Well, that's a swamp. Edwin F. Fireman for 2. F's the chat for Quincy Jones, by the way. 1933 and 2024. Huh?
Yep, F's.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, very legendary music producer.
You want meme 2004 for 2. I bet 100 pounds on Trump to win so I can say I voted. Oh, gosh.
Quincy Jones is like Michael Jackson's main producer.
Ah, okay. That's why it sounded familiar. All right. New Hampshire. Now, this thing with New Hampshire, the Trump campaign, they were there today, right? With Vance?
Vance was there, yeah.
So, I'm hearing things like the Trump campaign, they believe this will be a lot closer in New Hampshire. Can anyone confirm this?
It could be. I don't see it, though.
But it's like...
The voter registrations have gotten more Republican since 2020 in New Hampshire.
Do you know how big of a shift?
We're also seeing more competitive... We're seeing more competitive polls. Yeah, it's gone from D+1 to R+4, I believe. Now, I know voter registrations don't mean much. Well, it's like 5, I think. But yeah, I know they don't mean much, but we're starting to see more competitive polls by pollsters like UNH and others, which had like Harris +5. We got a Harris +3 by Emerson. And Emerson's a historically accurate pollster in New Hampshire. They're one of the best, I think. So that would imply, obviously, Harris is favored, but Trump is definitely within the margin of error. And this is a state he's been underestimated in the past.
That's a tricky one because, like, I always thought the state was kind of out the window, but the fact that Vance was there, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
I would still give Harris about like 80% odds to win it. So
yeah, I got with likely. I can't really say lean because that's kind of pushing it. Likely, I could see maybe because maybe there's just some weird shift in the Northeast that's not just New York. Maybe there's like some big just red tsunami in the Northeast because of like.
Well, Rap.
What?
Rap. I mean, there have been Northeastern pollsters which have sampled other states nearby. And they're finding, for example, Vermont was a 4-point shift right. Rhode Island shifted like 7 points, 6 points right. Massachusetts, a lot of polls showing Massachusetts swinging right. So this wouldn't just be localized. It seems to be happening to the entire Northeast. Because I guess Kamala's not as strong as Biden was up there. Biden honestly had a really unique appeal.
Yeah.
Those college-educated white towns.
That's fair, I guess. Adrian Augusta.
Yeah, one thing I do want to point out too about UNH, their last poll had Craig up 1 in the governor race, and the most recent one had Ayotte up 4. So that's a 5-point shift.
Ayotte's gonna win.
Yeah.
Adrian Augusta for 35. I think that's South African currency. I don't know for sure. Where do we check for results? Consider New York Times will be down. People's Pundit Daily. They're gonna have results. So. Ghost Dog for 2. Decision Justice posted their final 24 hours prediction. Trump 275. Alarm for 5. What days do we have for early tomorrow? Once polls close, that'll tell us how it's going. We'll know. I think we'll know by 10 p.m. tomorrow, or 11 p.m. Eastern. I think. Cole Langdon for 10 or 5. The Harris +30 poll is democracy as the #1 issue of the crosstabs. Of course, all they did was poll the people from the university up there. That's all they did. So. Ben Cynics for 5. Did you see Qantas Insights tweet about the early vote shift? No, but there's a shift everywhere. So.
All right, so let's go to the prediction.
There's going to be a massive row turnout tomorrow from women.
I saw that.
Election day vote.
We'll get to Nevada in a second because John Rolson might have threw his reputation out the window. But anyways,
we'll save Nevada for last.
Yeah,
how about that?
That's ridiculous, but we'll get to that.
All right, let's go to Virginia.
Not just Nevada, nationally. People are saying.
I mean, yeah.
Can we move on before we get another super chat wave?
All right, Virginia.
I just want to point this out. Knocking doors and talking to Republican voters, the vast majority of Republican voters are still voting on election day. Yeah. Just so people know.
Yeah, it's like this.
There's definitely more voting earlier than last time, but there's still the vast majority are still voting on election day. These are
low propensity voters voting early. That's a fact. We know this. Now some are high propensity, but most of them are low propensity. So. Stephen Howard for 5. Rap feeling pretty good. I feel like Trump has a 65% chance of winning. What do you think? We'll get to that. Me for 2. Rap, what do you do if Harris wins 2034 or 2024? We'll see. Lord Rhino for 2. What time does this first state close? Again, it's like 6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern is when the first polls close in Indiana and Kentucky. All right, let's go to Virginia.
All right, Virginia. Now
and we have polls closing tonight. And I believe Guam and the North Marianas Islands.
Yeah, Guam always votes early.
Yeah, Guam is a straw poll. So.
Yeah, but usually maybe
they also elect the non-voting member to Congress. In 2022, it flipped Republican. It's a competitive seat, but it doesn't have any power. So.
All right, Virginia. We'll swing up. We'll deal with the non-competitive. Well, the least competitive state. So Virginia. What do you guys think about Virginia right now? Because
it just fell into the lean category.
Probability, likely to by margin.
John, what did you say?
I think.
Well, okay. Well, I was not going by probability, but what I would say is that we just dropped below 5% in Hyen's crystal ball model. I trust Hyen's. I'm good friends with him now. and I've kind of had a little bit of a look into his methodology. I see Virginia as being between 2 and 4, so if you want to put that down as it's somewhere between lean and likely in terms of probability for Harris to win. I think it's closer to maybe like 70%, so I'd probably put it in lean.
Yeah, so I mean, we had the Trump eternal. Christian Hines reported this, that it was like Trump or Harris +2, and now his model is within 5. So I mean, it comes down to election day basically. That's what it comes down to, really. If people vote on election day, if it's some ridiculous margin, I mean, there's a chance. But what is it?
I think it'll be election day will be relatively even. Most polls show that Democrats they're planning on voting more on election day than years past, but Republicans will still outvote them. My suspicion is that Virginia will probably be around like 6 points for Harris. It could definitely be much worse, but I would honestly say likely. Like, there is still that slim chance that Republicans just show up en masse.
I'm gonna say likely to be safe, because if you put a lean and it's like Harris +5, it's like, well, that was dumb. But it's one of those. What?
Done.
Oh, but yeah, I just think with Virginia, I think there's gonna be a big shift to the right. I don't care what those bows on Twitter say. Oh no, there's gonna be no shift whatsoever. It's like every metric in Virginia is indicating like a 5-point shift at the bare minimum. Could be 3 or 4 maybe, but it's still a shift. And I really believe that there is a pathway for Trump. Is it likely? No. But if Republicans vote and Democrats don't, there's a chance here. There's a chance.
Also, just a real quick question, Rap. What are your predictions? What is the popular vote we're going off of for this prediction?
I'm saying tied popular vote. I think it's a coin flip for the popular vote right now. I really don't know. You could just say tied. Mm-hmm. I've had that for like 2 months now. I honestly don't know if it's tied, Trump +1, Harris +1. It's somewhere in that range. I'm saying tied. Mm-hmm. America's Almanac for 5. I think you guys undersell Maine. Remember, very few polls this cycle, and Hillary only won by 2 points in 2016. I predict Maine within 1 to 3 points for Harris. Oh yeah, I think there's something crazy.
And there was that student election that's correctly predicted the race every single year. So we'll have to wait and see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because that had Trump up.
Yeah, I think with Maine, it's one of those states where I think if the rest of the Northeast is shifting right, theoretically Maine should shift the most Republican, on paper at least. Outside of New York, but Lord Rhino for 5. Is there a New Hampshire counting the votes today and could indicate the winner, or is it a safe? Now those are the Republicans. Are they even Republicans anymore?
I don't know. It's like a town of like 10, 15 people. It's not like, it doesn't really tell anything. It's just fun to look at.
I did hear though that more people have moved there, so we'll have to wait and see, because there might be more votes this year, but not confirmed.
Ghost Dog for 5. Can confirm how Republicans voting on election day. The dad is a traditionalist that I had to remind myself to vote early. Well, yeah, just like if you can vote early, bud. Now it's to the point you got to vote on election day, which is fine, but the whole point was getting as many people out to vote early as possible, so we don't have this huge gap to make up. We don't, by the way. So, all right, Virginia's likely, I think. Minnesota.
I think we may. I mean, I guess likely as well.
We'll say likely.
If you're gonna put Virginia as likely, you can't put Minnesota as lean. You gotta make it likely.
Nebraska second. I don't know why I put Nebraska second. What? Safe.
Safe.
Yeah. Safe. The final one is New Mexico.
Wasn't there just a poll out of there that had that had Harris only up by like 3 or 4 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see. Well,
it was a Republican internal, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of those polls where
New Mexico is safe. Their best pollster has Harris up.
Only had Harris +6. USA Today only had Harris.
Yeah, Albuquerque Journal had like Harris +9, and they're the best pollster in the state.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
it'll
safe.
move right, but it's not gonna be by a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it could shift like 5 points right, but.
I'll be back shortly.
All right. Yeah, I think New Mexico is one of those states where I think it does shift to the right. I do believe that's not insane to say, but will it be enough to shift 10 points Republican? I don't think so. You gotta deal with Albuquerque. You gotta find a way to do better in Albuquerque, and I don't think it's really possible right now. But
I agree.
All right, and that's it for the states that, they could, maybe something crazy happens in them. They could vote one way or the other, but these states, they're likely towards Harris. And with Maine, Nebraska second, New Mexico, they're safe. Now it's time for the states that everyone wants us to talk about. And you know what? Let's go counterclockwise, and let us start with Arizona. So Arizona is, I think, the easiest state to predict of all the swing states. I think it's the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think, before I give my take?
I think it's quite likely to go. I mean, of all the states, it seems like the one that's the most universally agreed on is the best for Trump. Or at least it's like seen as like kind of it's starting to get out of reach for Harris.
I would be putting it at the high end of likely. I don't think it's safe, but it's at the high end of likely in terms of probability.
Yeah, so again,
I want to mention something real quick.
Yeah, let's go on.
That if you look at Arizona's early vote right now, strictly by which counties are turning out and which are not, and you apply the exact same margin to them from when Biden and Trump faced off in 2020, you'd actually get Trump ahead by 9,000 votes. So if there's and that's in the early vote alone by county turnout.
And that's assuming there's no
Harris
shift.
She'd have to effectively post a better performance than Biden in order to flip the state. I don't think that's really in the cards.
And every metric indicates the early vote's going to shift right in Arizona. That's every metric. Didn't it swing like 15 points Republican or something? The early vote.
Yes, it did. It's very brutal for Democrats. It's in the ballpark right now of like R+8 by registration, and it's probably going to increase. We might see a double-digit Republican electorate again in Arizona.
Lord Rhino.
I would write it likely.
Lord Rhino for 5. Is Nebraska getting kicked out of the union if the vote is 270-268? Yes. K Cub for 2. Trump wins 48 states if he wears a squirrel suit. Real. Okay, so here's my take on Arizona. I think margin-wise, it's like R+2 to 3. Or maybe 4. Somewhere in that range. But
that's where I have it.
What?
I have it that too.
But probability-wise, she has to basically... How much does she have to win Independence by to barely win Arizona? I'm being dead serious when I ask that. Like
Harris?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably hit like 20 or something. Like maybe 10. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be double digits. I'm fairly confident of that. Like, I believe the number was like 11 or 12. But they're also saying that Republican crossover will happen. I don't think that's going to happen because Trump is receiving roughly the same amount of GOP support as he did in 2020. But he's doing better with independents.
So I think margin-wise, it's like Trump +2, Trump +5. It could be even more if he gets real bad, but I'm not saying safe, but probability-wise, I think I'm going likely. Is that reasonable?
Likely, yeah.
Is that right? I think. I mean, I could see it lean. I could see the argument. Like, when I say likely, it's like, it could be lean, I guess, but...
It's probably still a lean margin.
Oh, it's lean margin, I think. But probability-wise... I don't know. I'm saying likely.
It's kind of hard to believe. Like, this is the most
run
likely state for Trump to flip back.
Yeah. Ghost Dog for 5. Don't worry, guys. I'm declaring my property a state and giving it 3 electoral votes to counteract Nebraska. That's real. K Cub for 2. Fox will call Arizona for Harris a closing watch. Well, yeah, that's real. But yeah, I think Arizona's the easiest state. I mean, it's just a matter of how much. Could Harris still win it? Yeah. But I think right now it's likely probability-wise. That means, like, I give it a 75-80% chance that Harris wins it, or Trump wins it. So there's a pathway for Harris, but I don't think it's very likely. Put it lightly. Funny. Again, it could be lean. What?
She'll have to win the election day vote outright for that to happen.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Unironically, she might. And that's assuming there's no shift in the early vote. That's assuming they vote the exact same, right?
I think
more or less.
I mean, that's a tough... Yeah, she's in trouble. I think both campaigns kind of realize Arizona's kind of just out there at this point. But we'll see, all right? Maybe it could be lean. Anyways, I think Arizona's shifting pretty Republican. All right, Georgia. I think it's the easy one. I think it's lean R. It's one of those states...
Yeah, I would say lean.
It's one of those states where... I just don't see any metrics that look good for Harris.
At this rate, I mean, Harris's ceiling could probably still include Georgia, but it would be really tough.
Yeah.
I don't think he would include Arizona anymore.
We're back. What state are we on?
So we said, probability-wise, we said Arizona's likely. I said it. I don't care.
I'd say, yeah, probability-wise, Arizona and Georgia are both likely.
I say lean for Georgia, because there's a possibility that something crazy happens on election day, I guess, but
The justification for having Georgia
there to the left. Why are, like, Trafalgar and all those polls are to the left of, like, the standard polls in the state? It's so weird.
I don't know.
The justification for Georgia being lean instead of likely, I would say, is probably that Harris, from the very beginning when they started modeling data for her, had an advantage in Georgia that she didn't have in Arizona. With of course, with just the polling being
probably
better
because of the black population.
Right. I mean, we're not seeing good signs for her in the early voting, and like the white and black modeled returns and stuff. But as far as Georgia goes, she still has like a little bit of an edge theoretically that she wouldn't have in other places. So yeah,
what I would say,
I think he's good.
Yeah, what I would say about Georgia, I agree with Lean actually, like Rap, because Republicans are posting pretty good numbers in the early vote, and some of the best pollsters in Georgia say that Trump should win it. But polling has narrowed recently in Georgia, which, to my suspicion, may cause this race to be a lot tighter than we might expect. And in a state that has trended the most Democrat among all the swing states in the past 20 years, that is something that is definitely a little concerning. But I don't think it'll be enough to push Harris over the edge.
I just think the problem is they don't have enough early votes. That's their problem. I just don't think they got enough in the bank. I mean, they're getting crushed in early vote. That's the problem. But again, with Georgia, we don't have voter registration. So, well, we got voter registration, but we don't got by party. So we don't really know technically. Like, yeah, if this county's 80% Republican, they're probably Republican voters. But I guess it's possible. Lord Rhino for 5. The last time the state killed an animal, Harambe, Trump won the election. Let's see if the trend continues as it did happen in 2020. Eamon and Fireman for 10. Hope the voting margin is so big in Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Nevada that it overwhelms them and forces them to call the states early. Oh, I agree. No one wants to see 10 weeks later of, nothing.
Well, I am hearing Nevada will probably take about a week.
Yeah, but I think
they're going to be the absolute last state to be called.
I think everyone's hoping for Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Just be done and over with, Trump. Object Clay's Cater for 2. Is the Arizona-Georgia shift only this election or trend? That's to be determined. I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah. Hudson Dean for 5. I like the Electoral College, but what do you think would happen if our system was like Maine and Nebraska for all 50 states with the congressional districts? Absolute chaos. Campaign strategy would be different. That's all I would say. Sean for 5. I have full confidence that Trump will win, but I'm scared about them. Well, okay. Guys, if you get out and vote, we win. So that's what I'm going to say.
It's a lot like that. It's a lot like that previous comment where, they were having a similar, paranoia. Look, if you treat it as if it's the last election of your life, like you drive people to the polls as if it's the last election, you won't ever have to worry about it not being big enough. Like that's the deal. Just go out and get people voting.
Go vote. The problem for Democrats is they don't got the votes in the early vote. Right now. They don't. They needed some huge victories. I mean, they're getting crushed in Arizona. They're getting embarrassed in Pennsylvania, North Carolina. It's one of those things
they're coping with the women vote because women are voting more than men, even though the advantage is less than last time.
I forgot who was on Twitter. I gotta look at someone. If someone could find this, I posted this on my feed. Someone brought up the fact that women are voting more, but that's because male Democrats are not voting. Democratic men are not voting. Same with Democrat women. They're voting at lower rates. That's the problem. These voters are just not voting. Who cares if they're women? If they're registered as a Republican, do you think they're gonna all vote for Harris? Is that seriously their strategy?
Yeah, that's the new cope. Is that like they're saying like the Arizona number is bad for Trump because a huge chunk of the Republicans are going to vote Harris. Like that's when you're saying that like
you're
a bunch of these people who are registered Republicans are voting for you, you're probably not doing too well.
And these are people that just became Republicans. These are people that became Republicans 5 months ago. It's like, what the hell are they talking about? Bass for 5. Hi, Rap. Looking forward to the stream tomorrow. Also, North Carolina's borderline likely, in my opinion. K-Cup for 5. Last Supper. But I'm heading to my church for our pre-election night rosary. Say a prayer for our country, everyone. God will guide us. Yeah. Yeah, say a prayer for tonight, because here's what I'm honestly hoping for. I'm hoping for this to be just a blowout. Whoever wins, just get it done and over with. Because I don't think this country.
Also, I will say we're so back on this because Red Lion said men are not interested in this election. So because Red Lion said that, there's gonna be a massive male turnout.
Yeah, but I'm hoping. Oh, hey Tubbs.
What's up?
It was great.
Exactly for 5. I've talked to 3 people at work today who told me they were voting tomorrow, would never vote early. I think we are going to see a big turnout tomorrow. That's the thing. It's like, are we going to see a huge amount of votes tomorrow? I think it's where the election will be won or lost. If there's a huge turnout tomorrow, they're in deep trouble. That. All right, Chris Creative for 5. DC is fencing up around the Capitol and VP residents, but we can't have fences at the border. DC businesses are boarding up for unrest if Trump wins. Yeah, I think that's kind of DC signaling everyone that they think they know who's going to win.
Also, like, I heard the National Guard has been deployed to Seattle and Portland.
Which
so
is
very
weird. Like, why Seattle and Portland? These are not Republican areas. It's like
because Antifa.
I guess, yeah.
Antifa's not a thing anymore, though. They've fallen off really hard.
Lord Rhino for 2. Will GOP turnout be less or more than 2020? To be determined. I don't know. I honestly cannot say yes or no. Mr. Nugget for 2. Is there more incest with Democrats than never Trumpers? I actually believe there is. I believe there are more like never Trump Republicans or just never Trumpers in general. There's a key distinction.
You mean non-Trump or anti-Trump Republicans? I mean, it depends on the state. Like, maybe in obviously in Arizona, there's more like non or anti-Trump Republicans than like ancestral Democrats. But in the majority of the country, that's not really the case.
All right, exactly for 2. Stop being a bitch about getting pulled. What? About getting pulled off of YouTube? Well, no, it's just dumb. Because people are taking it the wrong way. And yeah. Anyways,
It's just dumb.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Seismic Mike for 5. DC on points. House predictions. GOP 238 seats. I think that might be a bit bullish, but we'll see. I guess. All right. Anyways, North Carolina. Lean. I'm saying lean.
I'm saying lean. You guys have Arizona, really?
I really don't see a path for Harris right now. It could have changed, but I just don't.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about North Carolina and Georgia. The electorate, the percentage of the electorate that's going to be black in Georgia is like 25-26%. In 2020, it was like over 30%. And a similar trend is occurring in North Carolina. Although I don't think her turnout problems with black will. I don't know if they'll be as bad as in the Tar Heel state as they are in Georgia, the Peach state. But regardless, I don't really see her getting the minority turnout she needs to win North Carolina. I think I mean there are some bad signs for Republicans. Like Western North Carolina could have bad turnout for us potentially due to the hurricane, or it could have good turnout. I'm hearing conflicting stories.
Here's my. Oh, go on. Sorry, I thought you're done.
And no, go ahead. What's your take on Western North Carolina?
I've always believed that the people that are not going to vote are those that are not enthusiastic, and this is a fact. I don't care what any poll says. Republicans have been more enthusiastic this cycle. That's a fact. They've been way more enthusiastic for most of the year, and they may just vote in larger amounts on election day. So we'll see, I guess. But Matt Travis for 5. Hi, Rapid. Following you for this entire cycle. You've been my favorite commentator. Best of luck going forward. Praying and fasting for Trump. Yeah, prayers for Trump tonight, because this is it. Less than 24 hours before first polls close. It's kind of crazy. All right.
The woke is less than 24 hours.
All right, time to get to the states that will decide the election. Pennsylvania.
I think it's
I'm going Tiltar.
I'm with Tildar.
Tiltar.
Here's my take on Pennsylvania. I looked more at the early votes today, and I know early voting isn't everything, but Democrats in the span of 2 to 3 months, they went from saying they need a firewall of 700,000 votes down to 600,000, down to 500,000, and now they're celebrating 400,000 votes and the firewall they built. Guys, for them to barely win Pennsylvania, they needed 700,000 votes in their firewall. They got 400,000. That's a fact. That's what they said 2 months ago. But they kept moving the goalposts. Now they're celebrating 400,000 votes. And I mean, could these people vote on election day? Yeah, but you look at who's not voting. The biggest turnout collapse in Pennsylvania has been in the black precincts in Philly, for example. They're not voting. Black voters in Philly are not voting. That's a huge problem. If they're not voting, how could Harris win Pennsylvania? What's her, the Puerto Ricans in Allentown? Is that her strategy? Is that seriously what she's going to bank on? The Puerto Rican vote in Allentown?
It sounds like that's the last minute strategy.
That's dumb.
I also just want to bring up. I want to bring up the fact that we now have our own Soros working in freaking Pennsylvania. We have people being bussed, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like there's something else to note about the Puerto Rican thing. They're still moving to Trump, and the Madison Square Garden thing is not going to help with that demographic. But it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like Trump had way worse.
Like no one's even talking about it anymore. Like for something that was supposed to be campaign ending.
Only white college-educated Democrats. They're the only ones talking about it. Isn't it ironic, by the way?
Ricans.
Eggman and Fireman for 2. Politicals talking about Russia again. Oh, fun. Bass for 5. I'm from Western North Carolina. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's what's going to be if Trump loses.
Yeah,
Trump wins.
That people are most definitely enthused to vote. Lord Rhino for 5. If you think today's super chats are bad, wait for tomorrow. Well, yeah, I know there's gonna be a lot tomorrow. Mike for 5. Floor for Trump 262. You're doing if you say it's less than that. Ceiling is 337. Both are equally unlikely. It's more likely going to be 297 to 312. Yeah, I would agree with that actually. I agree with that. Mostly. All right. Let's go to Michigan now.
Oh,
lean D by margin, probably likely D by probability.
What?
Okay,
no.
That's a boomer thing.
I would say tilts are by margin, toss up by probability.
I would say tilt D by margin and lean Democrat by.
I'm saying tilt D right now. I'm just gonna play it
safe. I think if we want to do a safe prediction, it's probably tilt D.
I'll say tilt Democrat.
I'm saying lean R.
No, because it's like, isn't the turnout like super good in Detroit? Like they went overboard with the.
It looks better. Look, all I'm gonna say is Democratic turnout in Detroit is a lot better than it is in Milwaukee and Philly.
That doesn't really say much.
Why I think
that's not saying much though.
Yeah, but still,
well, that's still not good because. Here's the thing. Winning Michigan is a lot more difficult than winning Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. Trump only lost Wisconsin by 0.6 last time. He lost Pennsylvania by a point. He lost Michigan by almost 3. So it's a lot more difficult to flip Michigan than Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. So that's why I'd say probably likely D by probability.
I'm playing it safe with Michigan and saying tilt Democrat. I'm just going to say tilt Democrat because maybe something crazy happens and Detroit turns on election day, or something like. I get the gut feeling Michigan's be the closest of the three Rust Belt states.
100%.
That's absolutely.
Michigan will probably not be called for several days.
Well, we'll see. Again,
like both that and Nevada are probably.
They said they're gonna have all the votes in by Wednesday, so
we'll see.
Wednesday afternoon.
But
it'll be called and poll closing for Trump.
That's real.
I think we'll know Harris won it pretty quickly, to be honest.
Well, if there's like a big shift in Wayne County, she's in trouble. But we'll see. We'll see.
If Trump wins Michigan early on, that's probably a good night for him.
Well, yeah. Well, I think Pennsylvania will be called. Well, we'll see. But all right. But yeah, Michigan's one of those states where I know it's tied popular vote, but I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. But I'm just gonna say play it.
I think a lot of the popular vote shifts are also going to come from the safe states.
Well, yeah. But
especially some of the blue states like California, Florida.
Well, aliens. But what's your model saying now? Your forecast? Was it like? Did you say it's 10-point shift?
I have Harris winning California by 20 points, and the electorate will be roughly between D plus 15 and 18.
I have Harris winning California.
Which is a shift right from 2022. This is absolutely going to happen. I have very strong evidence to back it up.
That's insane. I have Harris winning California by 22-23. Basically McCain-Romney margins. Maybe even better, but it's going to be with different coalitions. But Trump could still win, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino. He's probably going to do pretty well in LA for a Republican, but he's going to do worse in the Sacramento area. He's going to do worse than Romney and McCain in San Diego for sure, even if he does better or does pretty good in Orange County. And he's going to do a lot worse in the Bay Area. So, yeah.
Yeah, I generally agree.
He's gonna kill it in the Central Valley, though. He's gonna win like Stanislaus by 10. Calling it now.
Frankie Jr. for 5. Kamala offended a Muslim web video host so bad they unaired the interview. Series called Subway Takes. That's, I mean, yeah, I think should have tanked with Muslim voters, but is it enough? I don't know. We'll see. Polite rude guy. Again, with some states, we're just gonna play it safe and say, okay, yeah, if we just say Michigan's still Democrat, it still means it could flip. It just means right now it's of the 3 Rust Belt states, I'm the least confident in it. That's just my take on it, being honest. But that doesn't mean it's for sure go Democrat. It just means, oh yeah, she's probably a slight favorite, but if people vote, I still 3 going Republican. And speaking of Wisconsin, I'd say Tiltar. Tiltar.
Yeah.
I'd say toss-up Tilt D. It's based on... Even though I think Trump looks good on the ground, I don't know. I just don't want to put my faith, on it.
I know. I understand. Like,
it's weird.
It's one of those things.
You can put a Tiltar if you want, though.
But I think Wisconsin. I just... She
likely are.
I did see aliens. I saw you sent. I mean, that. I don't know.
Wait, what did
another thing too is that currently in Wisconsin's early vote is a ratio between the WoW counties and Dane and Milwaukee. The WoW counties are currently outdoing the final 2020 is like in proportion to turnout, and it's going to get much worse come election day.
Yeah, I feel good about Wisconsin, but we'll see.
To be fair, the WoW counties turned out pretty good in 2023 for the Supreme Court race, and
that was a low. That was still
Republicans did beat the WoW counties, but they collapsed.
Trump is not going to get Dan Kelly margins in rural Wisconsin. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, no, you won't. But
yeah, to me, a lot of this polling is just suggesting that Trump is getting underestimated again. And if it's something like 2016 and 2020, then he's going to win the state, possibly better than 10 points.
Polite rude guy for 2. Trump won. Trump, won in 2020. Trump matches 2020 turnout. We win. Well, yeah, if everyone votes, we should win. We'll see. Mr. Nugget for 2. Did you see the mainstream media election mock-up leak? Yeah, I won't look too much into it. They do that every year. Like, when there's something crazy happening, they do that. They prepare for that. So, Ben Cynics for 5. Per Kellen Coolidge project, some guy tried to use a weapon of mass destruction to destroy an energy facility in Nashville. What? What? Did someone look that up? What?
Was someone just pissed that there wasn't an October surprise and wanted to take it into their own hands?
Mike for 2. In my opinion, America elects her. In my opinion, if America elects her, we deserve to be Rome 2.0. Well, I don't know about that.
Agree.
Well, we'll see. But
I mean, we kind of already are. But
can someone look up the Nashville stuff? Does someone actually have like a weapons of mass destruction? First of all, how did he get that?
George W. Bush was in Nashville? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Man accused of attempting to use a weapon of mass destruction to destroy Nashville energy facility, DOJ says.
Like it's on stream. What the hell? What
Here, I'll
is
link
this?
the article.
Oh my God. Yeah, I got it right here.
Harry Sisson is planning for a Harris loss. That's crazy.
Mike, what? Mike for 2. In my read that already.
He looks like kind of an obese Harry Sisson.
Bomney for 2. Fellow Kamala cuts for toast. I can't believe this is real. So some guy had. How did he get a weapon of mass destruction? How? What?
I'm trying to figure out what the weapon of mass destruction is.
It's like a nuke?
Could just be like a fully
Can
automatic.
Alan Lichtman update the social unrest key now?
That's real.
No.
That's real. Well, now he's not using keys. His last prediction was using polls. I mean, this is unbelievable.
No, it was only using the female turnout metric of early vote. That's all he was using.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in his prediction.
You must have
Wait, for Ralston? Wait, are you talking about Ralston?
No, we're talking about Alan Lichtman for his final election prediction. It was just
I missed super chat. Jacob S for 2. In Pennsylvania, is anyone pulling the Amish for turnout? Well, that's a big problem. I never thought about that.
I mean, it's hard to pull the Amish.
Like, only like 0.5% of Pennsylvania's Amish, and the amount that votes is probably only like a quarter of that. So
yeah,
unless
but
it's like
a
Florida,
lot of them be voting
the
this cycle, though. That's a problem. because that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the Amish turnout is this time.
That's the thing. We don't know, and if they don't get polled, I don't know. McNabb.
All I know is in Wisconsin they don't vote. The ones in Wisconsin, like, it's against their religion to vote. So like
McNabb for 2. I'm scared. McNabb for 2. I'm scared, guys. I hope Trump wins. Yeah, we hope Trump wins. But I think Trump's a favorite right now. Again, it doesn't mean it's a guarantee. If people get out and vote, we'll win. But all right, now it's time to talk about the state that I cannot believe that Rolston actually. Listen,
Jill Stein.
Listen,
I mean, normally you wouldn't bet against Ralston. But here's let me say this: you wouldn't bet against Ralston, and I understand, but he has that's basically a tie, and he usually overestimates Democrats.
And I'm gonna pull up what his reasoning was, because this was the biggest pile of horse shit I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, because let me be fully clear. His margins have never been accurate.
Yeah, it's always
just
wrong.
He's gotten the winner correctly. Like, that's the thing. He's gotten lucky predicting the winner, but the margins are almost never right. He had Laxalt losing by 2. Trump was supposed to lose by like 7 in 2016. He lost by like 3. He had Biden winning by 4. He ended up winning by 2. So, like, his margins have never been accurate. So
and there's
if he has Trump down 0.3, very good chance Trump could win. But.
Yeah, absolutely. If Ralston had Trump down by like 1, 2, I'd be like, okay, maybe Harris pulls it off. But 0.3, no, I think he still has a chance. There's another thing about Ralston. Like, I have friends who are doomer Republicans. I think real RPD and Luke know who I'm talking about. And even they say that Ralston just got lucky.
Oh, he did.
In 2022.
That was bullshit.
He got lucky.
He guessed. That's what happened. He got super lucky because the people in Nevada hated Sisolak. That's what it came down to. Like, if it wasn't for that, he would have been he would have been off by a lot. But let's see here.
You know what would be so satisfying is Seltzer and Ralston lose not all their credibility, but get egg on their faces.
No, I want all 3 of them: Lichtman, Seltzer, and freaking Rolston. All 3 of them. Get them out of here. It's clear that they've lost it.
That's why he predicted Harris plus 0.3. That way, if Trump narrowly wins, he can be like, yeah, I was close.
Eggman and Fireman for 2. Remember to ignore exit polls. They're inaccurate. Yeah, exit polls can be pretty worthless.
Also, they're going to say a bunch of different things depending on the exit polls. So just ignore, especially when a bunch of people vote early now. Like, it's basically impossible to do exit polls.
Thornton for 5. This really sounds like a dooming. We made a dooming show. What? We literally have Trump as the favorite.
It's me. It's just me, dude. Because I'm being very pessimistic.
Prince Rider for 2. Bears is losing over Pennsylvania's latest vote by mail drop. What? What happened?
What? Wait, what happened?
People were saying, look at the vote by mail drop in Pennsylvania.
Dems gained 20 points. No, they didn't. I don't know.
Hold on. According to Dingle Dangle, funny name, Pennsylvania vote by mail update. Strong update today. Democrats only squeak out 2,400 net votes.
That's terrible. I thought it was going to be bad for us, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But no, that's terrible.
They were expecting like 50,000, I thought. This was it for them. Oh my gosh.
Real.
Well, yeah, if someone could fact check, I believe.
The funniest fail of the year, though, has to be Souls to the polls. That was the funniest.
How did that
go?
Freaking didn't like black turnout went up like 1% or whatever.
It went up like 200 votes or something. It was abysmal.
All right. Chance Dristic for 5. In 2020, Seltzer said Trump and Biden were tied in Iowa. No, Trump won it by over 8 points. Ignore a poll because she's been wrong many times. Well, no. What she does is has the BS poll in September, but the last second she's magically correct. But I'm starting to wonder did she just guess all the time? And now it's less like, screw it, I have nothing to lose.
I don't even know if she actually conducts polls because she hides the crosstabs. So we have no evidence that she actually.
Do you guys see what she said on Mol Copran's show? Hear what she said?
Yeah, she didn't know what the DNR meant. It was hilarious, that clip. You should almost play it on Stream Wrap because it was that funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I can find the clip.
Yeah, I'll find it. Give me a
For those that don't know.
I'll find it.
She's dumb. She's so fucking stupid.
For those that don't know, like anyone with 5 brain cells will understand, if it says D+1, that means Democrats are winning by 1. If it says R+20, Republicans are up by 20. According to her, she doesn't know what that means, and she's a pollster.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm finding it.
Yeah, people are saying Dems are DOA in Pennsylvania. I gotta look this up. I'll try to find this.
I got it. I got this. Go to general. I just posted it.
All right. Let me get this. All right. Let me get it. Again, I really can't play the clip because of copyright reasons, but I'll just show what the transcript said. Let me get it up. To where you at? There you go. Yeah, this is what she said. Mark Holprin, there's this tweet by Gradusky, and Holprin's like, hey, can you explain these crosstabs here? And she has no clue what they mean. Like, she said, oh no, I have no clue what this actually means. What? How many years has Seltzer been polling for? Does any, like, what, 30 years?
Probably like 20. At least 20.
And she doesn't know what this means.
Also talk about the fact that, like, every piece of breaking news, like, this election cycle always involves Mark Halperin. He's literally, like, the Forrest Gump of this cycle. He's like, everywhere.
I don't know where he gets the information from.
He's just everywhere. He just...
Prince Rider for 5. This cannot be real. This cannot be the Pennsylvania early vote update. Especially not the vote by mail update. If so, we need to old drop the act. This is not right. Cannot be right. Barris. I'm confused what he means. Like, so is it really bad for Dems? We'll see, I guess. But, RT Uxley for 5. What would be your reaction if Trump loses all the swing states due to, okay. But wins New York, Virginia, Minnesota? That's not gonna happen. But, I mean, I guess something crazy could happen and he wins Virginia, which is not gonna happen, but...
If Trump just comes out and... Imagine New Jersey ends up being lean out of nowhere. That'd be hilarious.
That's real. That's real. Alright, time for Nevada, though, because I'm gonna actually read what Rolston said. This guy is basically saying, oh, there's been a lot of crossover Republicans. There's a lot of... Okay, whose microphone is that? Aliens, fix your mic.
That's better?
I think he's eating something.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, so...
No, I'm not.
But yeah, and you read what he says. He's basically saying, oh, Republicans are leading by the early vote, but... but actually, no, the independents are going to shift like 30 points for Democrat, and like a quarter of Republicans are voting Democrat. That's what he's saying here. And he is saying that the Reid machine in Nevada, they failed in early voting, but they're going to get the people on election day. What? And didn't he say something about like, oh, this is not my data, this is my heart saying this, right? Didn't he say something like that?
What the fuck?
Yeah, he
We
says
have a
like,
final Reuters and Ipsos national poll.
what is it?
What is it?
Harris +2.
What was their last one?
Harris +3.
I think it was Harris +2. I don't know. The post just got deleted.
Okay, this is what she
It was
said.
like 2 minutes ago.
I know some may think this reflects my well-known disdain for Trump. Heart over data, but that is not so. That's what he said. This freaking bozo. Like, I know Rolston's like he's usually correct, but you read what he's saying here. He's basically saying, oh, women are gonna vote because of Roe versus Wade. Huh? It's been 2 years. 2. There's no data out there to say abortion's the #1 issue. None. Agman Fireman for 2. Mark David, Harris's account has the Pennsylvania early vote information. Look. Can someone find the information on the early vote? Because people are saying look at it. I don't know what it is. If someone could find the Pennsylvania early votes, please. Spence Callis for 2. I believe in my fellow Mormons. Nevada will be red. All right. So what do you guys think about Nevada?
So true.
Well,
either way, I'm gonna say Tiltar because I don't know. I mean, Ralston could be right, but he could also be wrong. It's 50-50.
this is probably, if he's going to be wrong in a year, it's probably this one. But then again, we said the same thing last time.
Well, he was right.
I have to go.
This is the only time. Wait, go ahead.
I have to go, but my prediction is Tiltar.
Tiltar.
Okay.
That's your prediction?
All right. I'll
No,
see you
here's
guys
what I was
for
going to say
election.
about... Oh.
What?
I'll see you guys on election night.
All right, see aliens. What are you saying, Luke?
Yeah, because what I was saying was this is the only time he's predicted like point something. Like every other time he just round up to full numbers.
Yeah.
So this time he literally like went to the points. So that makes me think he's very uncertain about it and he just wants to show a tie. But he knows he can't do that.
Yeah,
So
I think
he
he's
just
hedging
like
his
he doesn't
bets.
like Trump.
He's hedging his bets.
All right, so I think we're going Tiltar.
Let's see here. Spence Callis, or read that already. Glitch Evie for 5. What percent will my X account none of these candidates get in Nevada? Remember when I beat Nikki Haley? Like 2 to 3%, I think. We'll see.
That's probably how a lot of the UNLV students will vote.
Yeah.
Like the Palestine ones. They'll probably vote none of these candidates.
Yep. All right. Nevada's one of those states where I'm just gonna say Tiltar to just spite Rolston. Like he could be. I'm not denying he could be right, but like predicted a Harris victory in Nevada. I guess that's reasonable. I guess, but the way he came to that conclusion, that's my problem. He's basically saying that it's remember he make a big deal with the firewall for like 10 months now, or whatever. He kept talking about it every day. So. We need a Clark firewall of 70,000 votes. And then the last millisecond, he's saying, we never got the firewall, but it doesn't matter. Democrats are playing 70 chess. That's what he basically said. That they're playing 70 chess to win this election.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Rhino for 10. Check remarks on X. They are giving Pennsylvania early voting numbers. We'll see. Princess Rider for 5. Dems only gained 2,000 votes today in the Pennsylvania update. They were expecting about 50,000. GOP on verge of overtaking the return rate percent. Zoomer Catalyst for 2. Do you think Wisconsin will be called on election night? Yes. I think it will be. Might be a little bit later than some other states, but it should be called not that long after polls close.
This is an interesting crossover event. Glenn Youngkin, Mike Johnson, and Derek for Virginia. That's an interesting.
Well, it's for House race when I actually win now because Dems ran a pretty bad candidate.
I know, but like look at Mike Johnson standing next to Youngkin.
I know,
like,
he's
like half the height.
What is he, like 5'5"?
Yeah, or something like that.
Mike for 5. In my opinion, 297 is a benchmark for whether or not it's a good or bad night. Over that, 306 plus is a good night. Under that is a blend night. Yeah, I agree. You know, if it's above 297, which I think it is right now, I think we're having a pretty good night overall. If it's below that, meh. If it's below 270, well, we're just cooked. So, and that's the official prediction. We're not gonna end the stream right away, but that's it for the prediction. We have Republicans.
Atlas Intel's dropping right now.
Oh yeah, what are they? Okay, whenever you find them, tell me what they say.
Well, I'll let you know when they're up.
I think they're probably gonna have good polls for Dems, but whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna hedge.
That's what that Eric Dorsey guy was saying, which he's a clickbaiter, but still.
Yeah, so 297 is my current prediction. Now, again, people understand that this could go both ways. I'm not saying for sure that this means a Trump win. If people get out and vote, we win. That's just a fact. If people vote, we win. What?
Atlas Intel poll Trump plus
Okay, this is their final national poll. They haven't dropped the state polls yet, but their final national poll is Donald Trump 49.2, Kamala Harris 48.1. So basically the same as their last one.
Yeah.
Head to head, Trump 50%. Kamala Harris 48 points. So it's really, I don't know where Doherty got that from because it's just their last poll at least.
He's been. I mean,
national.
There. I think he meant to sell.
He's a clickbaiter. I said that. I warned about that.
Let's see here. Yeah. Pennsylvania, it's official. They only gained 2,000 votes today. It's over. The early vote's a disaster. They were expecting 50,000. That's what I thought they were saying. I could be wrong, but I thought it was some huge margin. They gained 2,000.
Yo, let's wait and then until the state polls drop, then we can end the stream.
Yeah, we'll go for a little bit because I want to take some questions for chat to see. I'm gonna read what Barris said because this is actually. I know people don't like Barris, but you know when it comes to stuff like this, he's usually on the ball with this stuff. Let me pull this up. This is what Richard Barris said just, what is this, like 5 minutes ago? Not even. That looks like it's right in Pennsylvania. After dispatching old schoolers from Team Obama to help youngsters from Team Kamala, the early vote update of Pennsylvania is an absolute disaster for them. They came nowhere near their own firewall. Yeah. They were banking on 500,000, which is not enough. But they were saying 500,000 would be enough. They got 412,000. They got 412,000 votes in their firewall. That's it. Which is 200,000 less than 2022, by the way, in a midterm. They wanted they couldn't even get 500,000. They're 80,000 or 88,000 votes short of where they needed to be. Or they claimed to be. Wow. That is not good for Harris whatsoever. I mean...
I got one question, though. What is this cycle's great news for Masters going to be? Is it going to be great news for Harris in
Virginia
Arizona?
got redder.
Yeah, probably. Or actually,
Virginia got redder.
Actually, Clark County incoming.
No, because the thing is, Virginia got redder might actually come true. It's got to be something that won't come true.
Well,
Like,
how about this? The Iowa predictions.
Maybe that.
Cherokee Bear for 6, Atlas Intel last poll, Trump 49, Harris 48, sign 1. Yep, we saw that.
What if it's like good news for Harris and then it out of Nevada and then it still goes to Trump barely?
Oh yeah, it's like the early vote drop and it's like
Nevada's gonna take like a week to count their votes, so.
Yeah, what I'll say is Eric Doherty every time before an Atlas poll comes out, he tells everyone to temper their expectations. So I think he kind of just does that so that people aren't like overly optimistic, you know.
And then when it's good, we can celebrate and laugh at some people.
Yeah.
By the way, did y'all see that clip? Did y'all see that clip from The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Liz Cheney?
No. Oh yeah, she should be like the attorney general or whatever.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg told Liz Cheney that she should be leading the FBI, the CIA, and NBC.
Can you imagine her as the head of as attorney general?
He would, her as head of the FBI or CIA would probably be worse than any Democrat.
Oh yeah, because you know what she would do. She would just target Americans, and that's the reality of it. I mean, worse than Democrats do. Lord Rhino for 5. Nevada should start counting now. Let them have a head start. Well, I personally think that if you have this much mail-in voting, you should be allowed to count it like 24 hours. Of course, have people there, but yeah, we'll see. Fairy Out Politics for 10. One thing that may save Harrison, Wisconsin is same-day voting. And I'm hearing Trump needs 23% of the vote in Dane County to win, unless he does extremely well everywhere else. Well, they're not going to do good on Election Day. I highly doubt it. So, Caleb Ryan for 2. What are the chances Allred wins in Texas? Like 20%, I guess.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, something like that.
35%. I'm kidding.
35%. All right, so yeah, we're waiting for Atlas Intel to drop their final poll, and we'll see what they are saying. Well, their national poll, I think it's gonna be like the same, basically. I think it's gonna be like basically the same.
Sherrod Brown will. I saw someone on Twitter say Sherrod Brown would win by more than Ted Cruz, so we'll see.
These people are dumb. Like, what? Every poll is showing it Moreno win, by the way, now. Do you guys see that?
Here's what I'll say. The right are the people dooming on Twitters, and the past few cycles, the side that dooms is the side that wins. So
well, that's the thing. Say. There's been a couple Democrats dooming. Like, James, not trying to point you out, but you've been kind of dooming a little bit.
I don't think Democrats are going to.
Dude, he was dooming during the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So there's like 3 facts of life, like death, taxes, and then James dooming. Like, those are the 3 facts of life. He was dooming. You said Dan Kelly was gonna win. So like.
Well, yeah, no, I thought that Dan Kelly was gonna win.
You doom everything. So like, I'm talking more about like big accounts. You're not really seeing them doom that much, you know.
Zoomer Catalyst for 2. I'm seeing Dems on Twitter coping about the Pennsylvania early vote. Yeah, they probably are. Rap breakfast stream tomorrow. And sadly, no, I have some election day stuff to get to tomorrow. I gotta get prepared for tomorrow, so I really don't have time. I'm sorry. I might
do a stream midday. We'll see.
Yeah,
I might do a stream
I have to
midday.
get a lot of stuff in order. I gotta work on some stuff because it's gonna be a very hectic day. But
Lake Politics YT. Everyone follow that
you.
at Lake Politics YT. I might be doing a stream midday.
Alice Intel poll D+7 North Carolina real. Why are they struggling in North Carolina? That's the one thing I've noticed.
No, their final poll had Trump up 4, or their last one had Trump up 4.
North Carolina.
So they kind of. I think it was the hurricane. I think the hurricane just screwed up their polling before.
People are saying that Moreno's now up to the RCP average. Guess what fact check?
Oh yeah, he's up in the 538 average.
538 one too.
Let's see. What's
Because
with
Emerson saved him.
there was a Moreno +6 poll that dropped today. That's why.
Let's see. Will the bad turnout? Will the bad weather tomorrow affect Wisconsin results in terms of turnout? I could see some Democrats not vote if they're not enthusiastic for her, but we'll see, I guess. Let's see. People are asking about the radical politics versus SoCal stuff. I'm not getting into it. No,
Nobody just
Yeah.
no. We don't need to talk about this. It's so stupid.
It's just
okay.
dumb drama. That's what I'm gonna say. Lord Rhino for 2. How long do you think you'll be streaming for? Until I think probably 1 a.m. Eastern. I'm guessing that's be like the earliest we get off, unless it's like a complete blowout, and we know right away. Mr. Nugget for 5.
No, if it's a complete blowout, I want to stay on longer because I want to see how
like,
many states.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we know who's gonna win, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we'll be here for a while. It's like, yeah, we'll see. Mr. Nugget for 5.
Let's see. I might consider doing an after show stream.
Mr. Nugget for 5. I saw an idiot on Discord saying that all red Trump voters exist. Well, they might. I think in the Rio Grande Valley they might.
Oh, they will, but it won't be enough for him to win.
Yeah. Spikes has been a member for 15 months. What is James's Twitter account?
It's JAAMESWJ. It's kind of hard to spell, but
yeah. All right. Bailey Spangler for 2. Do we have early vote data for Michigan and Wisconsin? We don't have by vote party, but we have by county and by like city, and it does not look good for Dems. But that's what I'm gonna say. All right. Any updates on Atlas Intel, or are they just not gonna drop this poll?
Yeah, there's nothing out of. Oh, wait, no, they just released it 16 seconds ago.
Post it.
I'm linking it right now.
I'll read.
Wow.
Yeah, is Trump up in ever? Well, Harris is up by 2 in Minnesota,
Holy
5 in Virginia,
smokes.
5 in Virginia.
Up 1 in Wisconsin, 1 in Pennsylvania, 2 in North Carolina,
Minnesota.
3 in Nevada, 1.5 in Michigan, 1.5 in Georgia, 5 in Arizona.
Atlas Intel is putting their team on their back. Holy smokes. They are ballsy for saying Harris +2 Minnesota.
I will say Virginia is very close to Christian Hines' prediction.
Yeah, that's
under a
identical,
point off, so.
basically. But Minnesota, wow. Is Minnesota... Do they just hate Tim Walz? Wouldn't it be funny if Tim Walz just hated that much in Minnesota?
That's what they've been telling me.
Okay, I'm going to read off, all the state polls.
But we have on screen. So.
Get your popcorn out. Okay, so Arizona, Trump... those ones have Trump up. I kind of want to read some of the down ballot. Kerry Lake still leading, 48.4 to 47.8. A bit narrower. Their last one had Lake up 4 though.
Yeah, that's
so. Or no, they had her up 2. Their last one. Okay, next state on the list, Georgia is tied in the full field. Trump plus about 2 in the head-to-head. No down ballot races there, obviously. Michigan. Full field, Trump plus 2. About in the head-to-head, it's about Trump plus 1.5, and then Senate race is Slotkin plus 1. Going next to Minnesota, it's Harris plus 2 in the head-to-head. It's Harris plus 2 as well in the full field, and then. Klobuchar plus 11. So that's a bit closer than I expected, but kind of makes sense that some of her across the board appeal has kind of gone away. So next up is Montana. I assume they mainly just pulled the Senate race, but Donald Trump is up 20 points. He won Montana by around 16 last time, so this is a 4-point swing to the right. And that's in both the field, full field and the head-to-head. Tim Shee's up 10.
He's got it. That's not a surprise.
Yeah, which is the same margin that Bullock lost by in 22. I will say, though, a decent amount of undecideds, though, because Tim Sheehy's polling at 49, John Tester's polling at 39. But all I can say, if you're an incumbent and you're polling below 40, that is not good.
Yeah, you're done. All right, Jacob S. for... What?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. And I'll read Nevada.
Eggman and Fireman for 5. My recommendation is stand until they actually call the states necessary. That way you won't go to bed and wake up feeling screwed over thoughts. Oh, no, we'll know, I think. I just got a gut feeling. We'll know by 10 p.m. Like, not for sure, but Jacob.
Okay, so Nevada in the head-to-head is Trump plus 3. Oh, go ahead.
Jacob S for 5. Why do the early vote / vote by mail votes take longer to count than election day votes? Incompetence. Next. Chance Drissinger for 5. I don't mean to do, but even if things don't go our way tomorrow in the presidential race, we're gonna get the Senate. Gotta look at the plus side. I wouldn't say that. We gotta deal with Murkowski, Collins, and Curtis. So America's Almanac for 5. I did a full county map prediction. I only have 2 counties nationwide flipping from Trump 2020 to Harris. McHenry, Illinois, and Hamilton, Indiana. What do you think? Yeah, about. I would agree. Frankie Jr. for 2. Harris campaign just said it'll take days to count. Mr. Nugget for 5. Some dummy said Harris would win Arizona due to an abortion referendum. Of course he said that. But go on, Luke.
Okay, so Nevada in both the head-to-head and the full field is Trump plus 3. Senate race is Rosen plus 6, actually. So next up, North Carolina is Trump plus 2 in the full field and Trump plus 2 in the head-to-head as well. So about Trump plus 2, so a slight swing right from 2020 in North Carolina, at least according to Atlas. Ohio is next up. Trump leads by 9 in the full field, and he leads by about 8 in the head-to-head. And then the Senate race, Bernie Moreno has about a 3-point lead over Sherrod Brown. So Pennsylvania, this is a big one. So Trump leads by about half a point in the full field, and he leads by 1 point in the head-to-head. Senate race is Casey plus 3. So seems like McCormick kind of surged a little too early and recently has kind of plateaued away.
We'll see.
Texas, Trump plus 10 in actually, yeah, it's about Trump plus 10 in the full field. In the head-to-head, it is Trump plus 11. Senate race is Cruz plus 8. Damn. Actually, no, that's 7. Excuse me. Cruz plus 7 in the Senate race. But Virginia, obviously, it's Harris plus 5 in the full field and Harris plus... No, it's Harris plus 5 in both fields. The Senate race is Tim Kaine plus 8. So Wisconsin, last but not least. We love Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Trump plus 1 in the full field. In the head-to-head, it's about Trump plus 1 as well. Senate race is Baldwin plus 0.9.
It's a basic 50-50 race.
Yeah, so that's it. So I don't know what Eric Doherty was talking about. These are pretty good polls for Trump. So
Reaper Patriot.
If I were Trump, these are very good numbers for him, actually.
Reaper Patriot for 2. What about the amendments going on in the states? There's referendums across the board. Do your research into it. Be careful who you vote for. So Eggman at Fireman for 2. Tester is done versus testosterone. That's real.
I can say one thing you do got to vote yes on. You live in Wisconsin, vote yes on the referendum.
Yep.
Yes. It bans illegals from voting in the state. Be sure to vote yes.
Yep, vote yes. All right, and wow. Is that it for the polls then? Is that the final poll of the cycle?
It's at least one of the last.
I thought they were going to poll New Hampshire. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't, but that's fine.
I guess I'm
glad they pulled Minnesota though.
Tomorrow.
I don't know, but I think that's it for this election cycle. Wow. This was a long, this is what, 4 years really? For this, I mean, if the campaign really started 4 years ago, but technically it officially started when Trump announced, but it's been going on for 4 years. It started basically on January 20th, 2021, and ever since then, we've been covering it for 4 years, and I want to say to everyone, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. This has been a very fun 4 years. A lot of things could happen tomorrow. But I do want to say thank you to everyone. The channel's been growing incredibly fast, and I'm just honored. It's honor of a lifetime, really, to receive the support that you guys have given me over the past couple of years. And recently, we've been picking up momentum, which is just crazy to think. And all I can say is just thank you. And this is it. This is the final election with Donald Trump. Think about that. But yeah, everyone, this has been a very fun cycle. This has been very entertaining. There's been some ups, there's been some downs. 2022. I mean, that was the lowest point, I think, for a lot of people. But ever since then, we have a chance for an optimistic future for this country. If you vote and get people to vote tomorrow, we can win. This is an election that I think Trump can absolutely win. I think he will win this election. But everyone's got to get out and vote. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what's going to happen after the election. I don't know if this is it for predictions. I don't know yet. But it's been a fun 4 years. No matter what happens, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to the contributors, I guess, to the channel. People like James, who's been here forever. John Rose, the newest member. Real Texan. Luke. SoCal was on here a little bit. Yeet, yay. Tyrone, of course. And of course, before I forget, Tyrone is doing fine. He said that everything's going well. He's still alive. That's what he texted me. So, yeah.
I gotta troll him on Sunday and say it was like a 2008 2.0, no matter what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, so just thanks everyone for the support. And I know no matter what happens after the election, you guys will always be here for this channel. Which is crazy to think that you guys are watching this channel. I'm surprised by that still, but thank you all so much. It's been a very fun ride.
Rap knows how to cook. You guys chose the right channel to watch.
You chose the right channel. Of course, follow Luke on his channel. Go subscribe.
Yeah, you gotta follow me. Lake Politics YT. It's more of a side venture. I rarely upload, probably because I don't have many subs, but I upload once in a while and we have fun, we do streams and stuff.
Yeah.
So Lake Politics YT on YouTube. And that's my Twitter too. So
yep, this is everyone. No matter no matter what the future holds for us. We actually got a couple super chats to read through before I do my final monologue. Giga Chad of NPCs for 2. Will there be another Pennsylvania vote by mail dump? Yeah, on election day probably. Mr. Nugget for 2. When does Gallup release? They don't do national polls anymore. So.
Yeah. No, because Boston Nationalist grandpa got pulled by Gallup for a head-to-head, but I don't think they're going to be releasing unless they release at like midnight or something.
Yeah. Yep. All right. That's it, everyone. I'm getting kind of emotional because it's crazy that 4 years flew by. Just crazy to think that.
I know, man. It's insane.
I mean, man, 4 years. I don't know what's gonna happen with the channel after the election.
We're gonna have like a 10-hour stream tomorrow. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very fun night, I think. I hope everyone tunes in. Again, share with your friends. Like the streams, like the videos. Let's keep growing the channel. No matter what happens, everyone. This is like the rap season finale. It kind of is. I know what's gonna happen.
Finale.
The season finale. I don't know yet. I might take a break for a month.
These were the rap seasons. It was 2020 to 2022. This is rap season 2. So it was 2022 to 2024, and then rap season 3 begins the 2024 to 2020.
I don't know. Yeah, I might take a month off or something. I don't know, but we'll see, everyone. Guys, make sure you get everyone out to vote. This is the most important election of our lifetimes. Yes. It doesn't matter. Get out and vote for Trump. You may not agree with him on everything.
Do it for Tyrone. Yeah, Tyrone would want you to do it.
But do it for Lake and Riley. Do it for all the Americans that sadly lost their loved ones because of this administration being incompetent.
That too.
Everyone, for the final time, we will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. And one more super chat before I finish. Spikes for 2. Face cam if Trump wins. No, can't get the face cam working, sadly. But guys,
I'll do a face cam if Trump wins.
We'll make America strong again. Make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And of course, for the final time, we will make America great again.
Great again.
Everyone, get out and vote. Godspeed to all of you.
10 in Texas is crazy, though. I hope that
it's just crazy what's happening. We have a chance for something historical tomorrow. Just get out and vote. No matter where you live, no matter what you think, just get out and vote. Get your family out to vote. If you have voted already, get others out to vote. Help people vote. If you need carpool, go carpool for people. Get them out to vote. This is it, everyone. No matter what happens tomorrow night, thank you all so much for the support. I am forever grateful for everyone here. And I'm getting a bit emotional with this. Oh, man. Just thank you all so much for the last 4 years. And hopefully more to come. Yeah. All right. Get out and vote. Godspeed to all of you. God bless you all. And have a good rest.